sides by -3. What does y equal?
+4.
Very good. You already have x up here, so you don't have to actually, in this, normally you have to go back and find the other variable, but in this situation, they already told you what x equaled. So you get the same exact answer you did over here.
Okay.
Were you sleeping during our lesson on Wednesday, dude?
No.
Maybe a little. Or you weren't awake, maybe. Maybe you weren't awake yet. All right, so you try number 5. We've got a couple more minutes. Try number 5, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Aiden. Hey, Rand. Hello, Logan, Brayden. Who else was up? Brianna. Hey, Aiden, I saw your email late last night. I haven't had a chance to do it, but I will get to it later today, okay? right, y'all make sure you take attendance. We have 2 minutes left. You should be able to see on the screen the page that we're starting at in our note packet. So if you can take your attendance and have that page ready. Give me a second, baby. It's not. In one paragraph, someone 4 to 6 seconds. The student is 9 and explosive recess. His favorite teacher is ages. Read it. His least favorite subject. Isn't it? Awful. It's just because it's funny. Good. 4 to 6 sentences. Try to make one more sentence.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job.
We're gonna do one more sentence.
Brayden, I don't see your attendance, bud. You finding that? Morning, Drew. All right, Drew, get that attendance done. Drew and Brayden, get your attendance done quick and open to the page that the screen is on. So it's homework 3. All right, y'all, let's get started so we can get out of here. I'm gonna give you guys a second. Make sure, because you are gonna have to you're gonna have to upload pictures of your notes today. Okay, so make sure you have found this sheet. Type in the chat or unmute yourself if you cannot find it. All right, no one has any issues, I'm assuming, so let's move along. All right, we are gonna start, oh, now I forget. What numbers are we doing? Let me check really quick since I forget. Oh yeah, number 6. All right, let's jump to number 6. So we're just gonna review a little bit of what we did yesterday. I'll review on this page really quick before we move on. So we're gonna review by solving systems by elimination. Okay, remember, you still are going to get the same 3 types of solutions, the same 3 types of answers that we've been working with this whole entire time. You still could possibly get one solution, which means you get an X and a Y. That's if they intersect. You still could get no solution, which means if the lines are parallel. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. Or you could get it to be infinite solutions, which means the lines would have been exactly the same. They have the same exact slope. They have the same exact y-intercept. Okay, so in order to do elimination, let me just grab my notes from yesterday. In order to do elimination, remember, you need to make sure your equations are lined up and in standard form. So your x needs to be lined up, your y needs to be lined up. And then you need to decide if you're going to add or subtract. Who can refresh my memory? When do I add? And when do I subtract? What did I write down yesterday? If coefficients are what? I'm going to...
Add the opposite and subtract the same.
Very good. So if coefficients are opposite, you're going to add. If coefficients are the same, you subtract. Who can refresh my memory on opposite? What's the opposite of positive 3?
-3.
Good. And then the opposite of -9 would be positive 9. So they're the same exact number. They just have different signs. Okay? All right. So just a little refresher. Let's jump to question number 6. Whoops. There it is. All right. So question number 6. Remember, your first step is to make sure that you have your equations lined up. They have to be in standard form. Your x's need to be lined up and your y's need to be lined up. And it looks like I have that. I'm going to put a 1 here in front of that x. Maybe not. Because I like to remember that. All right, so now look at the coefficients and decide. Do you see coefficients that are the same or do you see coefficients that are opposite? What do y'all see?
I see that they are opposite.
Very good. They're opposites on your y. And opposite tells you to add. So I'm going to add to eliminate the opposites because -3 plus 3 would be 0. So it would cancel. Now let's add everything else. 2x plus 1x. So what? 2x plus 1x is 3x. And then 14 plus -11. Which 14 plus -11 is what? 3? How would you finish solving for x? What would you need to do to finish solving for x?
Divide both sides by 3.
Spencer is awake. All right. Divide both sides by 3. So x equals 1. Remember, if you get one of your variables to equal a number, it has to be one solution. Now, I need to find the other variable in order to finish. Who can tell me how I find the other variable? What am I going to do to find that other variable?
You plug x into one of the solutions above.
One of the equations. Very good. It doesn't matter which one you pick. You can either pick the top or the bottom. I'm going to pick the bottom. So let's take that bottom equation and let's take x and put it back in. So 1 plus 3y equals -11. So now I need to solve for y. Can't touch that, so you get rid of the 1, so -1. So 3y equals what? -12? And divide both sides by 3. What does y equal? -12 divided by 3 would be -4. And so these lines, if I were actually to check myself on my calculator, those lines would intersect at that one point. Any questions there? Anybody? All right. Let's go ahead and jump to question number 12. All right, question number 12. Remember, it's asking me to solve using elimination. So in order to solve using elimination, you need to have your equations in standard form and your x's and y's lined up. Do you have that here? No, Haley says no. This top one is in standard form. The bottom one is not. So what do y'all think I need to do to get this bottom one in standard form so I can fix that? What are some thoughts? How can I get this in standard form? Y is over here by itself. How can I bring that 7x over? What should I do?
You have to move positive 7 to the other side, so you subtract it.
Good. So if I rewrite it, negative 7x plus y equals 67. Remember, whatever equation is on top stays on top. So just rewrite the top equation. And now this is the new bottom equation. And it looks to me like I have my x's and y's lined up now. It's in standard form. So now you guys need to decide, am I going to add or am I going to subtract? Do I see coefficients that are the same or do I see coefficients that are opposite? What do y'all think?
I see opposites.
I see opposites also, a -1 and a +1, and opposites tells me to add. Whoops. So add to eliminate the opposite. So then let's add everything else. 2x plus -7x. What's 2x plus -7x? -5x. And then -22 plus 67. What's that? 45? So finish solving for x. Divide both sides by -5. What does x equal?
X equals 9.
Oh, 45 divided by -9. Very good, Drew. It should be -9 because 45 divided by -5, positive divided by negative is a negative. All right, remember, if you're able to solve for one variable, you've got to be able to find the other. So your answer is automatically one solution. You know, it would be kind of nice with these kind of questions. If it's multiple choice, you may not actually have to do the work. Okay, you may just actually be able to figure out which one it is. But we don't have that in this situation. So it tells me what x equals. Plug it back into one of the equations. You can either use the top one, that old bottom one, or you could use that new bottom one. It doesn't matter. I think the easiest one would be this one, that old bottom one. So I'm going to use that equation. Y equals 7 times x, which is -9, plus 67. What is 7 times -9? 7 times -9, what's that going to give me? Very good, Drew. -63 plus 7 would give me a +4 for my y. So if I were to check myself on my graphing calculator, these two lines would intersect at this point. Any questions? Any questions? No? All right, I forget which one. I keep forgetting which one I said next. Let's see. All right, I said 14 next, so let's go to 14. Ooh. All right. Actually, did we just do additional? So, yeah, let's skip 14. Let's go to 15. Let's do 15 instead. Okay. All right, so let's look at these two equations. It wants me to use elimination. So remember, both of your equations have to be in standard form, and your x's and y's need to be lined up. It doesn't look like you have that here, right? This bottom one is not in standard form. So let's bring it to the side. Who can tell me what I need to do to get this bottom one in standard form, to get my x's and my y's together? What should I do?
You have to move negative 6y to the x, so you have to add it.
Good job. All right, so x plus 6y equals 14. Remember, when I'm rewriting them, the top equation stays on top. So I'm just going to bring down that top equation. And this is my new bottom equation. All right, so now you've got to decide, do you see coefficients that are the same, or do you see coefficients that are opposite? What do we see, the same or opposite?
Opposite.
Where do you see opposite?
What? Oh, never mind. Same.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see same. And same tells me to do what, y'all? Do I add or subtract when coefficients are the same?
Subtract.
Very good. So I'm going to subtract to eliminate the ones that are the same, because 1 minus 1 is 0. Then let's subtract everything else. 3y minus 6y. What is 3y minus 6y? Negative 3y. And then 5 minus 14. What does that give me? 5 minus 14, negative 9. All right, so now if I finish solving for y, divide by negative 3. So y equals what? Positive 3. So in this situation, I found y. So it's going to be one solution. I found one of the variables, put it in the right spot. Y comes second. I've got to find the other variable. Now, it doesn't matter. You got some options here. It doesn't matter if you plug y back into the top one, the old bottom one, or the new bottom one. To me, it looks like it's easiest to plug it into that old bottom one, because x is by itself already. If I plug y in here, I just have to do a little bit of work to solve. So what do we get? Negative 6 times 3 plus 14. What's that going to give me for my x value?
What does the prefix cent mean again?
I have no idea. Cent. So what if I solve this? What should that give me? Very good. Negative 4. So these two lines would intersect at that point if I were to check it on my graphing calculator. All right, what questions do we have? All right, we're not going to do that last one. So all you need to do is go ahead and take a clear picture in a well-lit room. And then unmute yourself or type in the chat that you're done and I will check and then I will let you go.
So go to
What numbers were they?
The only ones that you should have done on that homework 3, I forget what, 15, 12, and 6. Yes, thank you, Haley. 6, 12, 15.
I did it.
Give me a sec, Cortelli. Bye, Brianna. Have a good weekend. Bye, Logan. Have a good weekend. I saw yours.
Can I take a break?
Okay, do a start math.
Okay. Feminism for we're gonna do.
Let me check, Brandon.
What is this?
Yes, Aiden, that's all you have to do. Okay, Brayden, I'm gonna send you can Brayden, you can leave, but I'm gonna send you a message on there in a second so you can look at that in a second. Rand, let me check. Rand, you can go. Spencer and Haley, I'm checking.
Hey, Siri, answer these questions on this.
Haley and Spencer, you can go.
I need help.
Wait.
I need help.
Give me one sec.
Different Eden Incorporated. Wow, she already graded my week 6.
Aiden and Drew, y'all taking your pictures?
Dang it, I got 190 out of the 200.
Okay, give me a second, Aiden. Drew, what are you doing, bud? You taking pics? All right, Aiden, I'm not going to make you retake your pictures right now, but your pictures are extremely blurry. If this was something that I actually had to check your work, like a problem you did on your own, I would have to turn it back to you, okay? So you need to be careful next time you take your pictures, okay? You can have a good weekend, Aiden. I'll see you.
Different City Incorporated.
Okay, Drew. Aiden, you can go, bud. Well, Aiden, honey, turn a light on in your room or go to a well-lit room, bud. Okay? I mean, come on. You're making it more difficult for yourself by doing that. Drew, if you are not going to answer, I'm going to kick you out of here because you're supposed to be taking pictures right now and I don't know what you're doing.